All right, staring down my drum smoker, we're about to get this Jealous Devil charcoal and these applewood chunks lit. Apple, that's sort of the theme of today's video. Gonna light it up here with the loop lighter. I really like lighting the drum with this. Hey, you're watching Big Lou Barbecue and other things I want to do. And those of you who follow my channel for a little while, y'all know I got to meet Heath Riles a few months back up in Salt Lake City. A wonderful man, and he offered to send me some of his rubs. So the rubs I'm using in this video, he sent me, and the expectation of demonstration purposes on camera. Now, I've tried just about all of them, and I've used several of them in some recipes for like fajitas and stuff, but I hadn't really done any with barbecue yet. One of them I did, but that was the rub I don't like, so I did that for barbecue for other people who absolutely loved it, all right? But I have found probably my favorite rub for pulled pork. He's got some other rubs I like to use every day, but this one, out of the ones he gave me, the apple rub. Now, I made some pulled pork about a week or so ago. Came out wonderful. Said I got to make a video on this. All right. So I did it yesterday, and a lot of the audio in the video didn't work. All right. So I'm trying to salvage what I can. I'm re-recording this intro here on the following night. The day after or so that you know what we did. Anyway, using this on pork butt, and I put it in my drum smoker. Now, here's how I applied this. I've already got the pork butt at this stage cut up and trimmed up from the fat and all that stuff. This was about a 7.5 pound to 8 pound pork butt. And after I trimmed the fat off, I scored it. I'm pointing out with the knife right there how I cut a crosshatch pattern in it. And the purpose for that is it just gives all these little nooks and crannies, which is more surface area for this Worcestershire sauce, and now this mustard, and eventually that delicious Heath Riles apple rub to go on it. All right, so I put the Worcestershire sauce, the mustard, and now the apple rub. All right, this stuff is really, really good. It's not too sweet. It is not too salty. It is not too spicy. So do not be afraid to put as much as you want to on it. You're not going to make it too sweet, too salty, too spicy, too anything, but just more delicious. So anyway, I want to coat this thing real well and get it all in those little nooks and crannies that I cut into it. And now this pork butt is ready for the smoker. All right, before you see me put this in that drum smoker, I want to give a shout out, okay? I want to give a shout out to a channel I've been watching, Griddle, Cook, Eat, and More, all right? The iCard will be right about there in the thing up there, so you can click on it, and I'll have a link down below to his channel. He's got a great channel. He's cooking on the Blackstone griddle, the Loco griddle, doing a lot of creative stuff. Like he put popcorn salt and popcorn oil on chicken, all right? And he grinds up hot dogs and stuff. And I found his channel because he was cooking fried rice on a Discata, Southwest Disc brand Discata. All right. In fact, his Discata's huge. He's got a huge Discata. His Discata's bigger than my Discata. Yeah. So anyway, watch him cook fried rice on his, he's got the Southwest Disc Moab 24-inch. Anyway, check out Griddle, Cook, Eat, and More. All right. He's doing great. I'll get him to 1,000 subs, all right? All right, well, the ThermalWorks smoke is showing that this is getting close to the temp, and, you know, I want it around 250, but anywhere between 225 and 275 is good for this pork butt, so let's get it in this drum smoker. All right, sorry about the shadows, but it's bright and sunny out here this morning. Smoker's ready to go, and because it's a drum smoker, we go fat cap down with this pork butt, right like that. Now, all right, well, you saw me just a few minutes ago put this pork butt in here. And what I need to do now is get a probe in there so I'll know when it gets to in the 160 somewhere. I want this to go down toward the bone, so we're gonna go about like that. And this is the ThermalWorks smoke probe. I've also have the ThermalWorks Smoke X, which has a longer distance. I don't always need that longer distance. And the cool thing about the X4 is I can do more pieces of meat with it. And also it runs the bellows fan, but I'm not using the bellows fan today. All right, anyway, so this smoke does just fine. And I've used it for about 5 years, and I really like this thing. So anyway, that's my cork probe port right down there. And if you don't know how to make one of those, I've got a video on how to make one. They work really, really well. And now I'm not going to look at it again till it reaches an internal temperature of around 165. All right, well, I was doing this on a Sunday morning and I went on to church, and my smoker was running a little low before I left. It was about 220, so I thought I turned it up just a little bit by opening the vents. Well, it must have got open a little too hot, because when I came back from church a little while later, and church kind of went long, you know, and when I came back from church a little while later, it was up almost approaching 400 degrees. It was right around 389, 390. So it got a little hot. The pork butts got a little brown on it, but I tell you what, it's going to come out good anyway. I know so, because we ate it. Anyway, it's getting to the point where we wrap. I got butcher paper, I got aluminum foil, and if I'm doing a bunch of pork butts, I'll use that stuff. But if only doing one, y'all know I'm gonna use cast iron. It's going in my Lodge 7-quart Dutch oven. You know, after all, pork butts a pot roast anyway, right? And that's how I like to get the braising part done once you get it wrapped, and bring it on up to the 203 degrees. So here's how that works.
All right, so I'm preparing this Heath Riles butter bath and wrap. All right, it says you mix a 1/4 cup of the stuff with apple juice or your favorite liquid. I am using apple soda, that Sindrel Mundet. It's a Mexican apple soda with real sugar in it, not corn syrup like American sodas. And once I get that mixed up, we go out to the smoker, open it up, I check it. It is between about 165 and 170, 172, I think was the highest that I saw on there. But I got the color I want, because the smoker did get up a little hotter earlier. And anyway, it's time to get it into the pot. Now look at that, some of that stuck to my grate right there. That's okay, I'm gonna pull that off of there, because that's a little bit of pit master privilege. Yeah, see, at 165, that pork is good enough to eat, you know. It's not ready to be pulled yet, but it's certainly safe to eat. All right, and I tell you what, it was delicious, so I just kind of snacked on it right there. All right, now we put this pot in the into my drum smoker, and once I get it down in there, all right, I just pick up the pork butt and I put it right there. Now, I've used this cast iron Dutch oven technique with pork butts for a while, but I like using the 7-quart Lodge, because you see it's got those little pour spouts right there, and with that pour spout on there, it's kind of like a little ear type thing. I can kind of move the lid so that the cord comes out without pinching.
All right, just gonna sit in that pot until it gets to about 205 degrees. All right, bottom temperature is the smoker temp. Top temperature is that pulled pork temp. So we got the smoker back in range, and it's ready to take it on out of here. All right, let's check it. It says it's at 205. Look, you see that bone coming out right there? Oh, that's just sliding in there, easy, easy. Oh, like, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. Now look at all this au jus down there, along with that butter bath that was made with the apple soda. Oh yeah. So yank this out of here with my Thermoworks Thermopen. Great thermometer. Also the dash is a great thermometer. And pull my smoke probes out. It may start beeping here if I don't turn it off. There it is, it's off. I had it off. All right, cover this up. Now, I don't have to put this in a cooler or anything like that. All I do is just go set it on my counter on a trivet and just let it rest. Yeah, you can hear it beeping now. The other one didn't get turned off. All right, well, it rested for about 90 minutes. It's time to get it pulled.
All right. After about 90 minutes, I was ready to pull it. You could do this in half that time, 45 minutes to an hour easily. I was busy that Sunday afternoon and didn't get around to it for about an hour and a half after I took it out of the smoker. Anyway, that bone comes out easy. It doesn't come out quite as clean as I would like it to come out. The one the week before came out cleaner, but I cooked it at a lower temperature during the whole time and for a few hours longer. Remember, this one had gotten up to approaching 400 degrees while I went to church that morning. But that's okay. The meat was still fall apart. Very, very tender. Wasn't too dry. Great smoke flavor on it. And all I'm going to do here first is go through and look for any big pockets of fat. There was not a lot, because I had trimmed it fairly well and I'd cooked it fat cap down. That piece right there is probably the biggest chunk of fat that I found in it. There were a few more, of course, and but I just want to go through it and get all the big areas of fat out of it, and then start pulling it apart into, you know, the little strings like that right there. Now you can keep it just like this, and it's really, really good. It's really going to be tender and delicious. But but I like to go ahead and moisten it up by putting it back in the pot with all that anjou and that leftover butter bath that we made with that apple soda, and I mix it in through there. Now, this does change the consistency, about like mixing it with barbecue sauce a little bit. So you might not want to do this, but I like to do it this way when I cook it with a cast iron pot instead of wrapping it. You know, if I wrap it, I'll lose a lot of that juice and stuff. But here, I just get to mix it all in with it. And that's not all I'm going to do either. I'll usually add back the rub that I use. So we use the apple rub. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more of that apple rub in there. And I'm just going to get those gloved hands in there and mix it all through it. Now, we ate this on buns that first night, and then I ate it on tacos the next night. I liked it with that Heath Riles tangy vinegar barbecue sauce. My son liked the Heath Riles sweet barbecue sauce. But whichever barbecue sauce you choose, this pulled pork with an apple rub is going to be good.
Yeah, even though that smoker got up to around 390 degrees, almost 400 degrees while I was gone earlier in the morning, that pulled pork still came out moist and delicious, and had it on buns, had it in tacos. I got leftovers on make quesadillas or whatever with it. I love to use the pulled pork. This Heath Riles stuff is a butter bath and the apple rub. It's fantastic. That's how I do pulled pork. You do pulled pork however you want to, but if you can get your hands on this apple rub, it's worth it. This butter bath rather, is awesome. Anyway, I want to thank Heath Riles for sending me this stuff, and I want to thank you for watching Big Lew Barbecue. You know, I like to say it in Spanish. Gracias por mirar.